of I kind of want to ride this wave for as long as I possibly can because I just feel like this has kind of taken me on a journey that I never ever thought I'd ever go on. And I do genuinely believe all of this is meant to have happened. Thinking to myself, this is kind of where I'm meant to be going at the moment.
Hello, welcome to my beautiful audience of the Pebble. And I am so excited because my beautiful friend, Dan, is here again. He has like become a regular, and that is for a really good reason. Not just because he is my friend, but because he is representing the Pebble in action. If you have watched any of our episodes with Daniel, and if you haven't, you really should go back. He has shown how finding your passion can develop and grow. And he's going to share today
Yeah,
how that has come to be. We've talked about All of Us Strangers, the film, in a previous episode. And again, we're not going to spend too much time talking about the film itself because we've got good news about a reference of that here. So please, I will put the link to the original episode below. I'm pointing like it's below us, but of course below us in the comments. And please check it out because I want Daniel to have all the time to tell you about how this has grown into something that has really helped him grow an artistic side that he maybe didn't even know he had. So, Daniel, I'm going to stop talking because you have so much to say.
okay, so basically, the local cinema in Croydon, the David Lean Cinema, lovely little independent cinema, they've done a few walking tours for All of Us Strangers. So we basically went to go and visit all of the locations where they went and filmed basically for the main film. And nothing doubles for anything. Everything is as it is in real life as well. So the shop's real. They had to do a couple of things, obviously, logistically, to make it look like it was in the 80s, so let's cover up the ATM machine, blah blah blah, and all of that. But essentially, everything is what it is, including the house. So we actually got to visit all of those places. It just so happens on the second walking tour, actually got asked if I was interested in participating in a remake of some scenes from the film. So I was kind of like a bit like, oh, shall I? Yeah, and then I thought it's something that's so sort of like dear to my heart, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna kind of go out of my comfort zone and just sort of like go for it, really. And so I sent my details off, and I got cast as Adam's dad, which was, yeah, just absolutely sort of a massive sort of like surprise. But I thought I want to sort of like try and do it justice. So yeah, so last month we on a Sunday we filmed, we sort of did select scenes. It's about 7 hours from sort of like start to finish. We actually ended up eventually with just under 10 minutes of footage, which I think is a bit longer than a lot of the remakes that they do. So the filmmaker, like I say, he was actually on one of the walking tours. And so he specializes in doing sort of remakes, selected scenes of certain films, obviously on a budget. And so obviously, certain things are not always logistically we're not able to kind of like do what to make do. We actually had to, in one of the scenes, the characters go up the escalator in the shopping centre in Croydon. But unfortunately, that particular escalator was out of service. So we had to walk up and sort of like pretend. But we had to get permission, obviously, to quickly sort of use that escalator. So like I say, it's not perfect, but it's not meant to be really. I mean, like he uses like a split screen to kind of illustrate sort of like what's happening in in the original film as well as in the remake. But it's like I say, it's as true as a representation as what we have limitations wise. And I think we kind of did a good job, really. They had like a little premiere as well, again locally in Croydon. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it, but it did actually go online not long after. So it is available on the filmmaker's Instagram as well. So yeah, just really really exciting. So I guess if I can say that's my sort of like acting debut. Um, yeah, so I just feel like really honoured that I was able to be part of something to do with the film. Just putting our little stamp on it as well. I mean, because like I say, it wasn't exactly the same frame for frame, but I think actually sometimes it's nice to kind of put your own little stamp on it anyway. I also had to, because the character smokes. I obviously don't smoke in real life, so had to use fake ones. So like I say, I tried my best. I don't. I'm not sure whether it was convincing enough or not, but my friends seemed to like it, and pretty much everyone that I've spoken to was really complimentary. And I don't know whether they're just saying that because of my friends, but like I
Don't do that to yourself. I'm
yeah.
quite sure you did a great job. I mean, again, for those of you, if you haven't gone back to watch the episode, which you should, uh, Daniel saw this film tens of times at least. Like you knew and loved that film.
Yeah.
That film meant so much to you. Like you really, we talked about how much it really just it touched a place inside of you where you really it meant something to you more than just seeing a film. Like it
Yeah.
spoke to you in a very deep way.
Yeah.
And because of that, I know that you brought something to that performance. I
Mm.
absolutely do. So whether, it's so you brought the Daniel version of it, and I'm sure it was very real and very true. And that's what matters as an actor. Like, you're not, it's not supposed to be a caricature. So you brought you, and I'm sure, is it someplace that we can go watch it? I mean, is it where
Yeah.
we can
So
see it?
Yeah, so I will I can post it again on my Instagram stories and I can sort of like tag you that way as well. But
Definitely. And
yeah,
then I'll put it as well because I would love to
yeah.
see it personally as
Oh
your
gosh,
friend.
yeah.
And I would love for my audience to get to see you because having known you over the years, I just I'm just excited to see you were so much shyer when I first got to know you, and even from the first time you were on the Pebble until now, and the thought that you are now acting on camera, that's why I'm saying that
Well,
this is the Pebble because you are becoming your bigger, truer self, and I'm just amazed by it, and it it makes me bigger and happier and a better person being around you because seeing you being your bigger and better self, like the ripples are just rippling all over the place.
definitely, definitely. And like I say, I think, and actually it was the cinema who organized the walking tours. So they were the ones who obviously made me aware of it in the first place. The first one did really, really well. So about 4 months later, they did the second one, and then about a month after that, they did a third one. So hopefully we'll get another one next year. The weather's obviously like too bad now to kind of like do one like before Christmas, but hopefully maybe like spring next year. That'll be quite nice. But I think a lot of people have. There's been people that've been twice. Obviously, I've been three times. But I think, a lot of people, it resonated with so many people, that film, in different ways. And I feel like it's not done giving, you know, for me personally, it's still kind of giving at the moment. They're actually doing they're doing a few more encore showings at the cinemas next month. And I was just doing a Google for some reason, and it came up. I was like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" So even though I've got it on DVD and all of that, but like I just kind of want to I kind of want to ride this wave for as long as I possibly can, because I just feel like this is kind of taken me on a journey that I never ever thought I'd ever go on. And like I say, to be in that position where I've come into contact with somebody who's a filmmaker and who, has put me in contact with, these people, is just, I do genuinely believe all of this is meant to have happened, so I kind of have just gone with it. And I just keep thinking to myself, this is kind of where I'm meant to be going at the moment. And yes, I really, really enjoyed. It was all done on a mobile phone, so like I say, it was, wasn't like high tech, and sort of, big budget. Like I say, this is the nature of the project is that it is, sort of an homage to the original. And actually, the original director gave his seal of approval. Well, I'm taking a like on the Instagram post to mean, so
Oh,
hopefully it won't do it.
absolutely. That is, I think you should accept that. If he saw it and gave it a like, he's a busy fellow, and I would accept that as a seal of approval. I would.
Exactly, and hopefully he won't sue us. But
I don't think he would have given it a like if he was planning
no,
on suing you,
no,
honestly.
exactly. I know. Hopefully, like I say, you never know in the internet world, but maybe even Andrew, the other Andrew Scott, might see it too. So Andrew Haig
Hope
is
so.
obviously
I
the
know how
original
connected you feel to
director.
him
Yeah,
over this film. And I just, one of the reasons that I started this show was that I think it does start with little things that resonate deeply. I'm sure when you went in the first time to see the film, while you expected to like it, because I know you've been an Andrew Scott fan for a while, you probably never expected to have this type of deep connection to it. And I feel like it was almost transformational for you.
yeah, definitely.
And
I mean, the thing is, I I knew of him, but I wasn't sort of like I wouldn't have said that I was like a massive, massive fan. Obviously, like I say, I was aware of him and his work, but like this film, for some reason, I've normally got quite a good sort of like inkling of what I'll like and what I won't like, and I just felt like it would be something that I was going to be really interested in, but I wasn't quite prepared for how much I kind of felt like I'd been sort of like punched in the stomach, really, to be honest, because it was so poignant and so sort of like, oh my God. And I think I've said this before in previous, sort of video, but I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I still, even now, like almost a year later, I still can't stop thinking about it, like I say. And so I think, it's kind of solidified a lot of things that I've been sort of like doing recently, and even like fashion choices. Managed to pick up a little thrifting,
don't
thing.
think I didn't see those polka dot shirts, right? I am loving on that, but I do
Yeah,
notice that you have gotten brighter and a little bit bolder in your choices. I do see that.
yeah. So and since obviously Oliver Stranger has been to see Present Laughter in the cinema, he did a show. That's the show, but it was filmed for cinema broadcast. So he did it on stage about 5 years ago, and then they screened it originally in cinemas, I believe, a few months after the original stage run finished, and then they did an encore earlier on this year. So obviously, I had to go along and really, really enjoyed that as well. He's heading back over the ponds to New York to reprise Vanya, his one man show, which he
I
did
saw
here in
that.
London. Yeah. So I'm sort of like fighting the urge to kind of think, shall I go? Shall I go? Shall I go? So I don't. But like I say, obviously ticket prices are quite expensive. So I might just wait till he comes back here because he'll do stage stuff over here again at some points.
Yes, if
But
you
yeah,
came to the pod, if you came this way, you know I'd catch a train and sit next to you. But no, but seriously, I really hope too that you really do take this opening and think about growing this artistic side on you. I know you take your job very seriously and you're very good at it. And I would never, you worked very hard for the promotions you've gotten and but I do see a blossoming of this. I do see this as a
I hope
flower
so.
bud that has started to open. So I hope you look for other opportunities to pursue this as
I,
well.
do you know what? I think it kind of. I mean, like, I can't remember if I've said this before, but like when I was younger, I did want to be an actor, and I just never really had the confidence to kind of go for it. And this has kind of given me. Okay, like I say, I know it's a small budget thing. It's not like obviously like a huge, but to me, it was a really really great opportunity, and I was
Stop
so
prefacing it
grateful.
with the lower
Yeah,
things. Lots of people would be professional actors would be very happy for a low budget film on their resume. To stop
mm,
prefacing it, you made a small independent film, as you have a small credit now. It's very exciting. Enjoy the fun of it. Stop like
definitely. Yeah.
every time you start to get excited about it, I hear you like downplaying it. You did a good thing. Enjoy it. Enjoy the fact that you got to enter the world of acting, and whether that's where you end up with this creativity or not. If that was something once upon a time you dreamed about and you tamped it down because of your fears, then this may be you returning to this, or it may just be an opening of creativity. But stop like prefacing it with all of those insecurities again. It's a
You
great
know what?
thing that you did.
Yeah, I know. And like I say, I'm so glad that I said yes to it, to be honest, because normally I would be like, absolutely not. Oh my God, what if people, because obviously the film is so loved, and I'm very conscious of the fact that, there would be people that would be like, why are you messing around with a classic, But like I say, we're not trying to replace, the original. We're actually massive fans of the film, so we just wanted to, pay like a little homage to, the great work that was done. Like I say, there was a few, slight differences and stuff like that. Like I say, we didn't do all of the lines, and there was a few bits and pieces, but like overall, I was really, really happy. I wasn't sort of like, oh my God, I've messed it up or whatever. I just thought, you know what? I actually did sit and watch the whole thing, and I didn't cringe at myself. And I thought, you know what? Actually, I've done a really, really good job. And like I say, all my friends were really, really complimentary, and I don't think they would just say that just for the sake of saying that. So that really helped sort of like spur me on. And I'm not going to lie, I was so excited to kind of see my name in the credit as well.
Of course you are.
Yeah, so I really hope, like I say, we'll see what happens. But now that I'm kind of on the books with like those people, you just never know what else will come up. And hopefully, like I say, because I'm in contact with them, um, hopefully, if something else comes up in the future, they might use me again,
Yeah,
so I feel really really positive that I managed to sort of overcome my fear and comfort zone,
that's
and
a
kind of
huge
do
thing, dude.
something that
That's a huge thing,
really,
babe.
and I won't lie, it was actually really fun to kind of become that character and dress up and all of that, those costumes and all of that. Like I say, and also because it was something so radically different for myself. Like I say, the smoking and like I say, obviously it wasn't real, but my friends sort of were like, "Oh, we've never seen that side of you before," and I was they were
Oh
like,
yeah.
your articulation and your sort of gestures and everything, and so that really kind of like blew me away, and I kind of thought, you know what, actually, I feel like even if I don't get to do this sort of like as a full-time career in the future, to be able to kind of scratch the itch a little bit every now and again, I'm
Yeah.
happy with that. I'm absolutely happy with that. So, like I say, all I can say is that I just hope more stuff comes up in the future. But if that's what's meant to happen, then that's what will happen. But I am so proud to kind of have that on my sort of like, CV, as it were, you know.
Definitely. That makes me so happy to hear that from you. And you could just think of it as your 10-minute love letter to it. If people are like, well, it's not, no, it's not meant to be. It's a 10-minute love letter to a movie that you all appreciate,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. And I think most people got that. I think most people understood that. I did read the review and it was, like I say, everyone's gonna have their own sort of like opinion. It wasn't scathing, but I think sometimes people don't always understand why the Redux project does what they do. And like I say, again, like you say, you've put it perfectly, actually. It's like a love letter. And like I say, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be exact. We are limited with what we can do. But I think with what we've managed to achieve, and so yeah, again, like I say, it's the Redux project. So you can actually find some of their videos on YouTube
I'll check
as
that
well.
out.
But like I say, our particular one, because we've used a Patsy Cline song, and I think obviously we
You
and
can't put it
obviously
on YouTube.
yeah, and
Got
also
it.
because obviously we
Instagram's
don't use that.
kinder on that.
Yeah, and also because obviously they specialize in using the original audio. Obviously, they don't use ours; they use the original. So again, it's probably like I say, but it's as far as I know, it's still on Richard's Instagram, who's the director. But like I say, I will send you the details, or I'll share the link again, and I'll tag you in
Awesome.
it so
I'm
that
so
you can
excited.
watch it again. So yeah.
That's just
Like,
wonderful.
can I call myself an aspiring actor?
Yeah, not only can you, you should. You should. Because that's what it's
You know
about.
what? I was actually back in the day. I know we're coming up to our time, but I just quickly wanted to say I was so jealous of you, sort of like back in the day, because I thought, obviously working on anime and thinking that's what I kind of wanted to do, and I would have loved to have done stuff like that. I think that so, like I say again, to kind of do this and also scratch the itch a little bit. I'm happy enough with that.
Well, I think it's brilliant. Honestly, I'm so proud of you. And I think that you should absolutely look for more opportunities, whether it's community theater or other people out there who are looking to make small films on the
Yeah.
weekends and such. And, start scratching that itch more often. And I
Mhm.
thank you for being the torch holder for my days of anime. And for those of you who don't know, that's how we met. And way back when I
Anime
started doing
rocks.
lives on Instagram, he found me. So that's how
Yeah.
our friendship started.
Anime absolutely rocks, and I will watch it for as long as I possibly can. I love it.
I know. And I still owe you a mail. I still owe you. You know what the funny thing is I now have the picture. I just have to print it out nicely. I want to give you a proper print. So eventually it will happen, Dan, I promise.
In good time, in good time.
But all right. Well, thank you for sharing your beautiful growth moment for the Pebble because I was so excited that you shared that. That's why I wouldn't let you tell me it before because I wanted everyone to see like my real reaction because my heart, it was like the Grinch's heart. It just grew 3 times, broke the little metal inside. And I want to thank you, everyone who tuned in. And if you want to see more wonderful stories like this, then please, you know what to do. I always hate asking, but hit the little subscribe button. And there's lots to be heard from Daniel. I think we have about 4, maybe even 5 with this one
I
down
think
below,
so.
but I will definitely share the one about all of us strangers in the comments section so you can find it and make sure you watch it. And so I thank you, and I thank you, Daniel, for being my friend and being my most viewed guest on the Pebble, all the way
Oh
back
my
to
God,
season
really? Are you
1.
serious?
So, all right,
Wow.
so thank you, and see you next episode, guys.